Hello, and welcome back to the Pretty Passionate Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Ruth. Joining me today to discuss one of my favorite shows is none other than the other members of one of my favorite group chats, my sister, Dr. Muriel. Say hi to the people.
Hi, everybody.
And our sister, Lynn. Want to wave
Hi,
hi?
everyone.
Hi. So we obsessively talk about Bridgerton when it comes on and talk about it in our group text chat and share memes and laugh about it and anticipate with breath that is bated until the next part is released. So on January 29th, of course, our group chat was alive with back and forth. And I was like, you know what, guys, we're taking this to the pod. So here they are. Voluntarily or not, we are going to talk about this amazing first installment, season 4, part 1 of Shonda Rhimes' Bridgerton. All right. So we're going to, of course, do some housekeeping and say, spoiler warning. If you have not seen Bridgerton and everything that precedes season 4, part 1, because that's all on the table, then I would suggest you go back and watch that. What's wrong with you, you silly goose? And then come back and listen and join us, and I'll be happy to hear your thoughts. So, okay, I'm giving you 10 seconds to go. Not 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Getting into it. Okay. So the first episode opens, right? And we are looking at the first few scenes are about a young lady, an Asian woman, right? And we're seeing her get ready for the ball, the masquerade ball, right? That's the focus. So the theme is that usually it's Lady Danbury every year that throws the masquerade ball, but this year she's passed the torch on to Violet Bridgerton, and she's now going to throw a masquerade ball, which is like sexy and fun, and all the people of the town love it because they get to come and kind of disguise themselves until the end of the night. And coincidentally, it's like a Cinderella story that they're laying the groundwork for. And the clock does strike midnight, and then everyone has to take off their masks and reveal themselves. So, okay, this opens and it sets us up to a mystery of who this lady in silver is, right? So, thoughts, ladies, about the
I thought
lady
it
in
was
silver.
the lady in silver. I thought she looked amazing. I think it was such a great representation of different ethnicities, different races. Just the
Yeah.
addition of Sophie and the villains that are to come. I thought it was very, very well put out there. I love the silver on her.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I wasn't sure about that for her skin tone, but once I saw it and gave her more of an
Right.
ethereal glow.
True.
It
Especially
made
like,
oh, sorry. I was gonna say it made her stand out.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
kind of
because
illuminated.
it was ethereal, yeah, the look. And when she stepped outside in the moonlight, it was
Mhm.
really, really pretty.
Beautiful
And to
reflections
your,
and everything you got me.
yeah.
Kind of
And to your point
accentuated.
about her, say again, Mary?
I felt like it accentuated her inner glow because she was taking everything in. She's never been to such an occasion, and so she was taking everything in, and I think that's probably kind of what
Boom.
made her stand out.
Exactly. Totally agree. And that's what made her stand out to Benedict, most
Hmm.
importantly, because he's got all the mamas and all the girls who are like inevitably going to be sweating him. And then here's this girl who's literally looking up at the ceiling and not paying attention to him. And then even when she steps outside, looking up at the heavens, and
Hmm.
everything she says is like wonder and awe and just taking it in. And he just falls in love with that probably instantly. But like to your point, Lynn, about her being East Asian, they said they were like specifically trying to cast Sophie as an East Asian. And did you guys read the books?
No.
No.
I didn't read the books, but I know that the character Sophie is Sophie Beck in the books.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they wanted to. I heard one of the showrunners talking in a podcast about how they wanted to honor like the actor's Korean Yaren, the actor's Korean heritage by choosing a Korean last name. So that's
Hmm.
why they went with Sophie Beck or Baek instead
Okay.
of Beck.
Which
So yeah,
makes
I thought that
sense.
was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. And the main antagonist, I guess, for her, Araminta, her stepmother, the evil stepmom, and then they've got the two stepsisters. So
Hmm.
It was
it's
just a
really set up to
classic
be,
Cinderella. It was a classic Cinderella. It
yeah,
was really, really good. As soon as
yeah,
I saw the whole lineup when she first got there, she arrives, and then I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, this is great." And then next thing you know, the whole "This is my ward," and I was like, "Oh," immediately. I
Mhm.
saw it all tumbling downward for that child. Like, it was just my heart dropped for her. And, you could tell
Mhm.
that this was going to be for her, it was something where she thought she was going to get, like, a new family, a mom, things that she was
Mm.
missing, and it became the time in her life where everything changed for the worse.
Mhm.
For real. And let's talk about that because, shortly after she has this magical night and her besties back at the house help her pull this
Mhm.
off and it's so reminiscent of like the mice and the fairy godmother in Cinderella,
Mhm.
right? And even she loses the glove and that's the glass slipper of the story. And
Yeah.
I love that they did it, but they didn't do it to death. But then we get to see flashbacks later, yeah, of her childhood and understand like what would possess a maid in this world to risk it all for just one night only, to have this kind of experience and we get to see exactly why because she wasn't a maid her whole life.
Mhm, mhm. She was
Yeah.
raw the experiences that her sisters were
Yeah.
able to experience and get all glammed up because it looks like she's the one that takes care of well everything in the house because they needed 4 maids in order to
That part.
fill in her shoes.
Yep.
And that
I
was
love that. I
that
love that
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 was that was a testament to her strength and how hard she worked, even knowing that she was supposed to be of the same stature of them. You know what I mean? As they were.
yeah.
She was just like, fine, you want me to work? I'm going to work. And I don't know if it's like, one of those things where someone who would sit on a couch later on in life, like, oh my goodness, my stepmother treated me so horribly. But, I did all this stuff for her love and I still didn't get it. You know what I mean? And it's just one of those things where you just look at her and you're just like,
Yeah.
she is just trying to seek that woman's, I don't even want to say love, but just approval. And then now it's turned to, I don't give a darn anymore. Like, that's how she got. Like, you want me to work? I'll work, whatever. But I think it still
Mhm.
sort of like broke her, if that makes sense. It still broke her, but she does
Yeah.
know that she's supposed to be in that society. It's like she's in this world, not of this world, but this is the world that she was forced into because I think we're going to see that the father probably left money for them to take care of her. That's what I'm hoping. That's my fingers crossed, like big hope for
Yeah.
this whole thing that she kicks them out and then she and Benedict get back together. you know, that's my future for it. And then
You got
now
their
she lives
ending
right
all
next
written
door.
out.
I know.
In my mind, this is the proper Cinderella. Those other three people are gonna get tossed out, and then she's gonna get rid of that maid that left the Featheringtons. I want them all gone out that house. I want that house to be for her.
Well, you're referring to the house on Grosvenor's, I think they said Grosvenor. I don't know how you pronounce it.
That
Grosvenor
house
Square.
Let's
is
talk
right
about the
next door to
maids,
the
Right
the
Bridgerton.
next
maid, the
door to
great maid.
Bridgener.
But let's talk about the
Wait,
Great
wait,
The
wait.
Maid
maid
But
war.
War.
we
Wait,
got
wait, but wait, backing up to Sophie's childhood, right? Because the
mhm,
thing is, like, we definitely get Araminta as the evil stepmother, right? And they
mhm.
cast her well with the
Fierce
two step.
as she is, she's
Yes.
beautiful.
Oh, she's
Gorgeous.
stunning. God, can we talk about that for a second? But
All
yeah,
that black
and
looks
the
fabulous on her.
I
Every
love
piece
it.
of black.
I love all of it. And her face is that card is never going to decline.
It's gorgeous.
And they do her makeup so well. Anyway, we're getting off track here, ladies, into the beauty realm. But at the end of the day, like I feel also when they show the history that she married this man, a lord, Lord Penwood, Sophie's
Yeah.
father, and didn't know about Sophie's existence until she rolled up to join him at his estate.
But
That's
she
where
had
I
two
think
kids. Judgy.
the die was cast. No,
Mhm.
her first husband died.
Okay.
Well, so he had
I know back in that day, yes, that was a lot. But it was like when
no,
the
yeah,
way
and
she
he
made it
had
seem
the
like,
kids. Yeah, because he had the kid with a mistress. So that was
yeah.
never his wife. Sophie's mom was a mistress and she was, off to the side.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a wife before that. I don't think so because there were no kids. Nobody mentioned a
I
wife for
didn't get the
him before
impression
that.
that he had been married before. I didn't get the impression that he'd been married
No.
before.
Are we sure? Because she told. We're sure it's a mistress because she told her. I don't know. I don't know to believe anything the stepmother's saying.
Well, the thing is, the reason why I'm leaning into that's true is because we saw Lord Penwood even call Sophie his ward.
You're
Lord.
right. That's true.
If that had been his daughter born in a legitimate,
Mhm,
Marriage.
if she had been born in a
Mhm.
marriage, she would just be his daughter, just like
mhm,
Araminta's daughters. So I definitely think, yeah, the mom was a mistress, or maid or
Mhm,
something, and
mhm.
something inappropriate happened, or, interclass mixing.
Yeah.
But it's so sad because, yes, I'm with you. I believe that we may discover in the second part that there was a fortune left for her. He did provide for her, and Araminta was
They're
just
living
like,
off it.
Mhm.
"Mm-hmm, mm-hmm."
And I
Araminta
think
was
that
like,
was his
"No," and
way
that's how they're buying
probably.
that house.
Yes, and I think that's probably why she tried to get rid of her. Oh, yes, she went to the ball. She didn't get caught, whatever. And then all of a sudden she's out on the streets and you can't take care of her. But
Mhm.
there has to be a reason why she kept her around because it was so quick after the father. I mean, the father wasn't even in the ground for like what, 10 seconds? She was like, well,
And she was
we ain't got
like,
nothing for
"You be
you.
the maid."
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. But
Like
I feel like it
crazy.
was more so that he left money for her, but she had to be kept around, all that stuff. Because the solicitor came that day. Like, I was like, what are we doing?"
Yeah, and
But
I mean, Sophie doesn't know to, she's not in a position at the time. She's still probably a teenager, a
mhm,
child, to
Mhm,
demand like, well, I'd like to speak with the solicitor myself, and whatever.
mhm.
And she really doesn't technically. The thing of it is, especially in that society, she doesn't technically have any rights.
True.
She
yeah.
is still just his illegitimate child, who he didn't even, publicly claim as his daughter to
Mhm.
say, okay, here's my illegitimate child. She's never going to be the lady Sophie, whatever. But oh well, he never was out and proud with her, so. She
Well,
really didn't have.
he did her a disservice,
He did,
because
he did.
he didn't protect her,
Mhm.
and even when she was starting to take away some of, the activities and stuff that she
Yes.
would do, he did nothing about it.
Yeah, he didn't
Which was
stand up to
strange.
her. Yeah, that's why I said from the beginning it's his fault because he set it up poorly, not telling the lady he has a daughter out of
Mhm,
wedlock. And
mhm.
then you spring the girl on her, and then on top of that, you don't put your foot down with the new wife and say, "Look, this is
She
it.
was
We
here
don't have to
first.
talk about we don't have to talk about where she came from, but
Mhm,
she here and she's
mhm,
going to
Mhm,
have an
mhm,
education and this and that."
mhm,
And I think that he kind of set it up long term for her to feel like she could get away with treating her
mhm,
that way.
mhm,
and that's the thing, he was weak. He was weak.
Yeah, he was
As
weak.
the minute that she started changing, he should have changed too, and, that's where I wouldn't have felt comfortable leaving my child around her, you know what I mean? And I think maybe
No,
it's because I'm so jaded about the whole, like, right now, we all know people who have children out of wedlock, it's not as taboo,
it's
that's why I'm
different
like,
now. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "What's the big deal?" But then, when you said it, I was just like, "Yeah, that's true." I'm looking at it from, and it's not even 21st century, whatever century. I'm looking at it from, that way of just like,
Yeah.
this is how it is right now.
Yeah, whenever I get a little bit outraged or annoyed, I have to remind myself at the time, class structure was so rigid. And even though we're in this
Mhm.
transported to this magical world where race doesn't matter, and that's, the biggest
But
determinant of a
class
lot of
does.
things. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. But class is rigid, ironclad.
Mhm.
mhm,
Mhm.
In fact, sexuality is not even as important if you think about it, because see how Benedict goes into those pleasure dens and he enjoys himself and he sees people from the town in there, He's not like he's not running into his peers in
Yeah,
that
and you know
place.
what I've always found strange? It never ends up in Whistledown.
No, and he
'cause she's
hooks
not
up.
there.
Well, she's not in there to see it. But people do bring her gossip, but what's more likely true is everybody who's in that pleasure den doesn't want the business of the pleasure
Mm-mm,
den getting out in the street. But I guess
Mhm.
what's interesting is that society-wise, I always thought of Benedict as this like rebel.
Mhm.
Like he's willing to push the envelope. He's hooking up with
Mhm.
guys, girls, whoever at the
Mhm.
same time
Everything.
in front of folks. Cause it wasn't just
Mhm.
behind last season, it was just the widow he was hooking up with in in her house. Now
Mhm.
he's going to the pleasure den and hooking up with everybody in front of folks. So I said, "Oh, he's
Mhm.
out and proud." And I was like, "How progressive of him." But then he's stuck with that class structure though. He can't get his
Mhm.
mind. So it's very, very interesting to see how like all the other boundaries we're used to are totally ignored, except the class structure is
mhm.
But you can
ironclad.
tell that's the one
Yeah.
thing he's not willing to break, and it shows in the end, but we'll talk about that as we get to it.
Yes,
It
yeah.
shows in the end because I was like,
Hmm.
that was a full circle moment to me. I was like, "What?" I'm just sitting there looking like, "You idiot." But
Mhm,
Oh, you
mhm.
mean the "Will you be my mistress" moment?
yes, I was waiting. I didn't know if
Yeah,
you wanted to
Yeah.
drop that in the middle of your
No, we're gonna get to that in a second because I do want to parse over a couple of other like key scenes. Like, okay, so we got through the ball. He's head over heels in love,
Mhm.
Cinderellaing with the glove, trying to find her. Was there not a moment you guys had where when he ended up at the Lady Penwood's house, I had about 10 shook seconds of thinking he was gonna fall in love with Posey
I
because
did, and I was
Posey
scared.
and
Thank
Sophie
goodness she's
look
so
enough
awkward.
alike.
I was like, "Thank goodness she's so awkward. It can't be her." Because,
Yeah,
even
when he was
though
talking to her.
yes,
Mhm.
and even though, Sophie is, like, shy, withdrawn, she's so much more eloquent than Posey. I love Posey. I love her because she's so flighty and sweet and just actually a kind person, especially when she gave her a little bit of something to
Yeah,
sell,
to
that
sell and
really
yeah.
broke my heart. But, at the same time, Posey's still like under her mother's thumb as well too. So I was like, you guys could have left together as far as I'm concerned. But Posey, it's a woman, it's at that time. Again, that's me thinking
Yeah,
now
what
because
is
I
a
wouldn't.
woman's options on the streets after she gets
Exactly.
kicked out?
I
Yeah, like,
think
not
I think
great.
I think because Benedict is an artist, his attention to detail probably was what helped him sift and see,
Mm,
this is not
And
me.
you're right.
Each person he would be looking at their mouths. So he
Yes.
looked at the
yeah,
first sister's mouth, he was like, "Definitely not." Then he looked at
Mhm.
yeah,
her, he's like, "Similar," but then there was just
yeah,
something about the face that didn't
yeah.
fit, and so that's how he was able
Well,
to.
the other
So
sister, I
in that
figure he
case,
ruled her out because of personality. Like she don't got no, she's just no. That one I would have ruled her out based on personality alone. The other one, not Posey. What's the other sister's name? I can't remember her name.
I can't remember.
Um, yeah, Meanie. Let's call her Meanie. Meanie, no.
Me. And to your point, Muriel, actually, one of the things that I don't want to say frustrated me because I know we got like a whole season to get through, but
Mhm.
one of the things that occurred to me was like every time he has a flashback of the lips and stuff, and then he finally meets Sophie, and I'm like,
Yeah,
aha,
then he can
huzzah.
recognize them out.
Thank you. I was like, hold on, buddy. You could rule out everybody else based on the
Just look,
mouth. And then the mouth is in front of you and you can't seem to
And you
and
recognize
kissed
it.
then you
the mouth
kiss them out.
again. You
Yes!
kissed the mouth again. I was like, as soon as he
There it
kissed her,
is.
I said, "We found her." I was like,
Yeah.
"Thank God."
And he's still like, how are you not putting it to? So I guess we have landed on officially and unanimously our very first real critique of the storyline because ultimately he uses this artistic savvy and his eye and his memory of her lips and all that and the kiss to rule out all these other women. And yet when the woman is with you, he can't figure it out.
So
That's
I rolled
because
that
he
back
was
a
using.
class.
Yes, he's not using his
He's got his
yep, right.
classes on.
Yep,
Classes.
yep.
Got his
Because he
classes
was like,
on.
"It couldn't
Yeah.
be her, she's a maid."
Mhm.
Yes. Isn't that
And I'm
something? I
not
guess you're
supposed to
right.
desire the maid. I'm not supposed to desire the maid.
Yeah, so
So,
he's
and then
all the
especially,
while
what was that older woman's name? It's My Cottage. Let's talk about My Cottage. That's not a cottage because that was like deceptive
my
altogether. I was
castle.
waiting. My castle. I was like, because when they went through the gates, I was like, oh, this stable. I was like, that looks like a stable, but it could be a cottage. And then
Yeah.
he's like, no, it's down the road. I was like, oh my gosh. But either
Yeah.
way, what's the housekeeper's name there? She was really
The
whatever her name is, but she was the one that kept putting in his mind too, leave that alone. She only becomes relevant if you make her relevant. Whatever role you give her in your life is how she's going to play. So he kept putting her on the shelf as far as I was concerned.
Because she's been a maid for a long time, so she's probably seen a lot.
Mhm.
yeah.
So,
Mhm.
then it knows that he's a dutiful son. He's not going to go against the grain. It
Mhm.
causes scandal. She's then left without work, and then you go on to live your life.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
and then
is
also keep in mind the other problem or the other thing that might be holding him back is that I don't know if I would have described him as a dutiful son because he kind of has just done whatever he's wanted for like the last 3 seasons, in my opinion.
Sure. I
But
think when it comes to marriage, they know they have to be dutiful.
and
mhm.
he also I think he knows when it comes to marriage, he knows that whatever he does affects everybody else
Yes, yes,
downstream, and
and that
And that
he's
mom
not gonna
really
screw
that
his
mom
mother that way.
hammers that in. She hammers that point in
Mhm.
all the time. I love it because she's always
Mhm.
just like, "And what if the rest of them?" Like, you're like, "Okay."
yeah.
So all
Mhm.
of them carry
She
that
has
weight.
Eloise, he has Hyacinth, so that need to be married. So
And I think
whatever you do,
Hyacinth might kill him if
Hyacinth is ready. She's like, "Put me in the market now."
she's like, "I
She's
want him
like
set this
raring to go.
table. I want to
yeah,
have
it's
these
a
children."
yeah.
I want these babies. Like, if Hyacinth could be a child bride, I think she would try. But
Yeah.
thankfully, Violet's got some sense. But
Mhm.
so, yeah, like ultimately, yes. And it's the Crabtrees, by the way, at my
Yeah.
cottage.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
like them. They were cute.
I love them. I love them. And I honestly, like, sometimes I got frustrated with Mrs. Crabtree, but then I also thought she was just trying to protect Sophie because she
Yes.
understands. Yeah, there was a part because there was a point when they were having a conversation, and she was, I mean, with Sophie, and she pointed out, I mean, not with Sophie, with Benedict, and she pointed out to him, like, yeah, this is all really cute, but at the end of the day, the power is imbalanced here. You're the Lord in this situation. She's your
Mhm, mhm,
employee. Whatever
Mhm.
mhm,
you want goes. So whether or
Mhm.
not she actually, you know what I'm saying, like really wants a future and doesn't want to be with you or just wants to hook up with you or whatever Sophie wants, at the end of the day, the power imbalance is such in their society that he's going to get what he wants out of her and then discard her.
Mhm.
Right. So
When I
I
saw
really,
the my what is it?
my
My
cottage.
Cottage.
it kinda reminded me of Windsor Castle.
Yeah, it was huge. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
no freaking cottage.
It's like, okay, this is the house. You might, overlook the house, but then you're like, Windsor Castle was kind of something to look at in comparison
Mhm.
to Buckingham Palace. Remember, they had
Mhm.
people had notes about Buckingham, and it's like, okay, well, let's take you to Windsor Castle then. Let's see.
Hmm.
Well, it reminded me of Downton Abbey when they would talk about all the other houses they had and how like, oh, we have a small cottage over there, and I
In
should
Mhm.
have known it.
Scotland and
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
I should have known
yeah.
based on the word that it was not a cottage. But I was like, they're off the side of the road. It must be a cottage when they go to the
No, I knew
latrine.
as soon as you said it because that's what British people say when they mean my giant country home. They say call it their and you know who else says that? Side note is in whatchamacallit on HBO. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking so much? The show we're obsessed with.
Which one? HBO?
Yeah,
What am I
Train
obsessed with?
Daddy. What's his name? Thank you.
Mhm,
I was
mhm,
like,
mhm.
I don't know. I'm so Bridgerton minded. Yes, The Gilded Age.
I cut those shows off as soon as they're done. I'm like, forget you. I moved on.
Yeah,
But
and
you
I'm
gotta come
like
back.
now I'm deep diving in my mind in all the Bridgerton lore. So like yeah, at the Gilded Age, they also refer to their other houses as like their cottage, their
Mhm,
Newport
Mhm.
cottage. And it'd be like
Mhm.
this giant mansion on the ocean, like on a cliff overlooking the Atlantic. But
mhm,
anyway, yeah. So speaking of cottages, we get to see. I love how Bridgerton like gives us this big story, and we're working our way through this story, and but we also get bits of updates from our favorite characters,
mhm, mhm.
Penelope and Colin, like rabbits,
I
Penelope and
love it.
Colin in the
But
in the
He
stagecoach,
he
can't
loves
keep
his wife. The coach,
can't
and
keep
remember when
their
she was getting dressed, he was like, "Can I take your mind
uh-huh.
off whistle down for 1 minute?" And I was like, and it looked like a reminiscent from when they first,
Yes,
when he
when
first
they
then, when they
first
did it.
hooked up.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah,
mirror, I
it's
was like,
very
yes.
cute. And their little redheaded baby, I love
Mhm.
that.
So
So
cute.
adorable.
I love we get
I
to see that.
And the
Mhm.
mom loves to talk about his title. Her mom.
Yes,
Okay,
Lord.
she's like
Lord.
the Lord Featherington over here. Yeah, but because they
But
talked
it's
about that,
good.
like whoever has a boy first.
So he has
Yeah.
his own title, he has his own money. I mean, like,
Yes.
it's good for the Bridgertons as well too.
Mhm.
Even though he's a
Exactly.
Bridgerton, he's like dual, like, almost got dual
Yeah,
citizenship, if you would.
Mhm,
If you got
mhm.
money over here, you
absolutely.
got money over there.
He
He's
has
set.
dual citizenship into that world because,
Mhm.
generations from now, they're going to be like, "Oh, we come from a great lineage." Okay?
Mhm.
Like,
I'm a
so
Featherington, I mean,
mhm,
so
mhm, mhm.
ton.
Yeah. Tauntaun, they live on the same street. The Featheringtons, they're dicey, but they're still on that same road. So,
Yeah.
you know. And then Francesca, she shows up with her boo, with John.
Love
Mhm.
him.
I love their relationship. Is it just me? Aren't they
No, I
cute?
love it. I think they're so cute and so comfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
awkwardly comfortable. Awkwardly
Yes.
comfortable. That's what I would call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he is, you can tell, like, if they were around at this time, people would be thinking that they were just two oddballs or like someone who's on the spectrum or something to that effect.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
I
but
think so.
I don't see that. I just see people who just don't. I mean, they're fine with living in this, you know, class society, but they sometimes don't want all the noise.
Yeah, they
You know
want
what
to
I mean?
withdraw a little bit into a
Mhm.
bubble.
Especially with
I
in
do
a family that big.
in a
Yes.
family of 8 siblings, but I do love that they decided to stay and give them a whole storyline, that pinnacle situation, which was still very sweet.
It was sweet.
It was. It was really sweet, and I loved that Francesca was finally able to her conversation with Violet about the pinnacle reminds me about
Violet
any conversation I
Daphne,
ever
up
tried to
everybody
have.
Daphne.
but herself.
No, but
Like,
it's
what
the
you mad about?
Daphne conversation all over
But
again.
you should have been
Like,
there to defend
Violet,
Daphne. You had some
Like
why
you
you
moves.
sent another kid out into the world like this?
yes,
But then, but then,
apparently
but then
so.
she knows what she's doing. Like, hello.
You could, like I just it's just
That
so
negligee shows she
funny.
knows what she's doing. That negligee.
Listen, we'll get
I
to
was
that in
like,
a second,
I
cause
started Googling it because I was like, I like this little romper set. Where is
honey, cause she said she's the tea. She's what's being served, okay, honey? So, she has her sexuality, but keep in mind, though, the Violet that gets to the point where she's serving tea and setting up her little tea date, she struggled with that for, like, all last season. It took her a long time to get back into accepting that, yes, I'm still a sexual being. Yes, I still desire partnership and a man, and that doesn't mean I'm forgetting my love, but I'm still
Hmm.
alive,
Hmm.
right? And we also have to remember that, like, these people are relatively young. She has these 8 kids, but she's probably not I mean, is
she
she
had them
even
back to
50? We
back
don't
to
know.
back. No, I don't even think so. I think she's late 40s,
And they get
if that.
married young. They don't get married later than 20, you know?
So she's
It's
a
not
True.
like they let them
grandmother in
get
her
well into
40s.
their late 20s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's probably quite young, so I really love that for them not to just gloss over her as a character and just focus
Mm-hmm.
on that young, hot, passionate love, but also show, like, what does a second chance at love look like, and what does it look like to be figuring out what you even want in middle age? So I think
What
that was
I
really I love that they
so
didn't ignore that.
I know this is gonna be bad, but what I love each time is that whenever a man gets undressed in front of these ladies, they look directly at the package, all of them. And it
Oh,
always
yes.
makes me laugh. Look, I made Muriel uncomfortable. It always
I love
makes me
it.
laugh. I was like
I'm
You
I
not
was
know
like,
what?
uncomfortable. It's funny.
I think it's funny, and you know why I think it's fun or you know why I like it? Because I literally, like I'm like, "Shonda, here you go." Just flipping the narrative because so many shows I feel like are focused on and shot from the perspective of, like, the male gaze. Like, the
uh,
woman is beautiful and her curves and, there's so much exposure of breasts and butt on the woman, and I do think Bridgerton is more heavily body exposure on the men, and,
uh.
I mean, I think it's a
Penelope
refreshing
was
change.
trimming body last season. There was a lot of Penelope.
Yeah,
But
did
I
we
think
get
that's to embrace the different shapes
I
I
think
mean,
of
that
yeah,
was
that's
the
what I'm saying. It
yeah.
was an
Yeah,
empowerment.
yeah, but they Benedict gave what he gave to I'm not Benedict, Colin gave what he gave too.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I love that. It's like equal opportunity that the women are gonna ogle the men and back and forth, even in a world that obviously we know in real life at that time was very male dominated in terms of society. But
And that they
yeah,
liked
that
her, like,
hmm?
cause a lot of times there was marriages of convenience, like, um,
Yeah,
well, Lady Danbury with that.
yes. Oh, that wasn't convenience. That was a nightmare.
I was so happy when he died. I was like, "We're finished, thank God."
My God,
Like, it's over. I was like, I literally
that
when he took his
poor
teeth
woman.
out, my God,
My God.
I almost
My God, I could not handle
he
that
fell
man.
asleep at the church. It was just embarrassing for her. Everywhere she went, she had to go with Uncle Ben. He looked
Oh my
ridiculous.
goodness. When I tell you he was so unattractive, he made me Google the actor, and I can't believe
He's
what a
handsome.
stunning uh-oh, Lynn, you got an incoming call. Hold on a
I
sec.
got rid of it.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm
okay,
important. How do
okay. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, dum-dum.
I do that?
Not Dum Dum.
I'm like, how you do that? I'm
How'd I
like,
do that?
I
But yeah,
know.
like, I definitely part of me was wishing that Lady Danbury might get a similar story too, and when
I
she
think we're gonna
mentioned
get a Danbury story
yes,
though.
because I
I
was
hope
like, "Girl,
so.
you gonna go
We go
back?"
back to Africa. We
I
going
wanna,
back.
yeah, hear it.
Sounded like, but I was like, sounding like Belly. Like, where from Africa is she from?
She from Senegal.
Okay, okay, good.
Oh, no, no,
I
no,
can't
I take that
remember.
back, I take it back, Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone.
Oh,
Yeah,
even
It's
better.
Sierra Leone. It's Sierra
and
That's
Leone.
gonna be
and
gorgeous.
and
Yeah,
and
and
I
she's
think
she's Sierra Leonean royalty
she
there.
is. Yeah,
Yes,
she's
Yeah,
of
because
yeah.
remember
Saturday.
she remember that time when she made this told the son who he was and
Mhm,
all that.
mhm.
So that's gonna be an interesting story, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
love every aspect of it.
I
Because
pray they
I
do a
still
whole spinoff in the motherland.
Hmm.
I still like, from time to time stop and pause and watch the Charlotte clips.
Oh, 100%.
And
all the
that
time.
even still,
100%.
like, you can see, like, when she was speaking, how well they casted the younger
Yes, young
Charlotte. She was like, "I
Danbury,
forbid it. You will not go." And I was like, "Oh my god," that sounded just like the younger
Mhm,
one.
just like young Charlotte, and I
mhm.
really felt for the queen. How about that
Mhm,
scene where she was, like, really breaking down, like,
mhm, mhm. Just she
I mean,
doesn't feel she has anyone.
Yeah,
she
you're gonna leave
doesn't.
me alone. She does it because her kids are very, I mean, I don't wanna say they're selfish, but because they were raised by their nannies and everything, they have no real attachment to her. So,
No,
it's very,
yeah.
very sad to watch it, and actually for Lady Danbury as well too, because 'cause she'll openly say it, like, she got kids, they somewhere they did her a favor by moving to the Americas and things like that.
Mhm.
I remember her saying something to that effect.
Yeah, her son
So
doing his philandering overseas. Yeah.
so that she don't have to see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's emblematic of the times and the class of people we're looking at. Violet Bridgerton, we have to remember, is extremely rare. She's a rare bird at her
Mhm,
class level to have a mother be that involved with her
mhm.
8 children. And sure, she's got governesses and nannies and everything like that, but she dotes on her children in a way that we have to remember is not characteristic
And
of
you
the
have to remember,
aristocracy.
she had a good dad. Like, her mom was a
She
pill,
did.
but she
She
had
had
a
a
really good
warm,
dad.
loving father, and so she's that kind of parent, and then I'm
Mhm.
sure the loss of the father
Mhm.
probably turned the gears up on her making sure they felt safe and loved,
And
because
her
that
not having
trauma.
a relationship with the mom too.
Yeah, yeah, and that so that kinda that probably was her way of treating that trauma
Mhm,
all around, but yeah, I mean, like, it's normal for people at that time not to have relationships with their kids, and so
Mhm.
the queen is kinda on her own. George is in and out, more out than in, and
mhm.
probably gonna pass away any minute. We know that's a true love story, so yeah, I can see why she didn't want her to go, but
Mhm.
I think
To
It's very
forbid her
selfish.
and act like she ain't hear her
And the
was
way she
like
said it was like, "Nope." And I'm like,
she was
"Ma'am."
just like, "Hmm?"
it's
I'm like,
okay, we're
first of
paying
all,
guests
did
now.
ignored her request.
Yes.
What about what's his name again? Her right-hand man, the guy, B, begins with a B. Brimsley?
Brimsley, yeah.
Come apologize. I was like, "No."
He was
He's
like,
like,
"For
"You
what?"
want to gossip with me? I cannot gossip."
I'm telling you. She's like, "I
Or
can't." And then
but you know what's symbolic? She didn't replace that maid on purpose.
the
'Cause Lady
you mean
Danbury, she was like, mhm.
the
'Cause
lady
she's
in
always
waiting that
got
left?
yes, she didn't replace her, remember? And I thought that was really like I was like, why aren't you replacing her?" Because she forever will have Lady Danbury.
Well, Lady Danbury, offers up Lady Mondrich
That was
or
horrible.
Mrs.
Hundreds
No,
was
but you know what?
pissed.
I mean, I
This is
saw it
gonna move
coming a
her.
mile away. It was a great move because understand, for Mr. and Mrs. Mondrich, they are not the titled ones. Their son is
Mhm,
titled.
mhm,
So even though they get to enjoy the spoils of being his guardian and the stewards of his wealth until he comes of age, well, they kind of don't have that strong of a place in society. They get
mhm.
invited because people like them and everything, and obviously they're
Money.
gracious to, yeah, and they're gracious to their ascent in society.
Mhm,
But yeah, this FaceTime with the queen and possible friendship with the queen might get them their own titles. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she's a
You know?
lady in waiting, so that's not bad either. You know what I mean?
No, it's a huge honor, like, people
Mhm,
literally step all over themselves to present their daughters or whatever, or their wives to be ladies in waiting because politically it's a, very strong position, at least at the time, to be in
mhm.
for the husbands of those
mhm.
women. But ultimately, I was thinking, yeah, like, Lady Mondrich, or Mrs. Mondrich, if she does a good job, she could actually bestow an actual official
Title
title
on
on
her
her.
husband and her.
Like they
Yes.
did for Lady Danbury's.
Mhm,
Yes. Yeah,
mhm,
exactly, exactly,
mhm.
and that is in the purview of the monarchy, so, yeah. Alright, well, so, okay, so I think that covers oh, no, one more ancillary or outside story, I call it, Eloise.
Mm.
Eloise.
That's
That
my
Bob
She's
was terrible.
she's annoying me this season, I'm not gonna lie.
really?
I
Yes.
don't
Like,
She's
I don't
annoying,
like this resolve to be
on the
no,
shelf, and
no,
you know what it
and you
is?
don't
I
get to
think
pick it.
she's okay. The only intellectual fulfillment outside of her brothers and sisters that she found was Sophie. So, I mean, aside
No,
from the fact,
but
who
she
else?
also fell well, intellectually, but she also fell for that printer boy.
Most
Didn't she fall for the printer boy?
A little, but they
Eloise.
never had, like, a real thing.
Okay,
Yes.
well, the shelf thing is ridiculous though. It's
No,
I
like,
think
I think she's resigned. It's not that she
yeah.
doesn't want to. She just gives off the air that she's not interested or what have you. But if it should happen for her, she would fall like right in line. It's just that she just doesn't want to compromise.
but I think
And you
I
that's
know, a
can
why I
lot of
see
feel
them
that.
like
have
the
probably
shelf is.
bypassed her. Yeah, I feel like she probably didn't think that she's, what they typically would like her
Yeah.
sister and what have you, and they bypassed her, and then she doesn't want to be like, oh, okay, I'm desperate to get married. Let me. Eloise is available. She's not going to do that.
Well, I
Yeah.
She's not
agree with
And I
you,
settling.
mean
but the way that she does it makes me feel like this is such a. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think for me, it's like more so. Okay, you're on the shelf because you put yourself on the shelf. You like being in. You want to be in a relationship, and like the one with the whatever the printer boy, I felt like she was just like. It felt so natural that I'm like, she wants this. She just doesn't want to say that she wants it because I don't think she thinks she's as pretty as Daphne or as attractive as Daphne.
is it that she doesn't wanna say that she wants it? Or is it more like I think it's a combination of what Mira you're saying, like, she doesn't wanna settle for, "Good, I'm married, check that box." She wants somebody to really see her.
Mhm.
Mhm.
This is somebody in a family of 8 siblings,
Mhm.
and she's a little bit different than her sisters, at least the ones that we've gotten to know so far. Even Francesca, who's an introvert, is still very super femme, super pianoforte, and
Yeah.
I think it's that, she has all these siblings. She doesn't want to just be I got a Bridgerton girl too.
Mhm.
I think she wants it to be someone she has a lot of interests in common with.
Mhm.
And also, keep in mind, she has witnessed not only her mother, who believes in love matches, but she's seen Daphne
Yep.
and Antony
Yep.
and Colin
Yep.
experience true love matches of
Yep.
that spark, something ticks
Mhm.
for them. And I think deep down she's waiting for that. I
Yeah.
don't believe her 100% when she says she's on the shelf so much as I think she's
She's
admitting she's
waiting.
really
Mhm.
yeah, and she's disappointed with the experience
Mhm.
so far. How many times, like in real life dating, how many times have we all had a Eloise moment of
Mhm.
like, you know what, I'm gonna put dating to the side, girl, do my
I'm
yoga
concentrate
and
on
do,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, focus on me, take some classes or
Read
whatever it
some
is, and
books.
then, yeah, and that's how you
Like
kind of
she
cope
likes
with.
books. Is it so hard to find somebody that likes the books with her? Like and wants
Apparently, it
to
is. I mean, I don't know, but I think it's not even so much. Is it hard to find a man who likes books? Is it hard to find a man who's interested in a woman who likes books?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
That's the difference. Back to the point I was saying about why she was getting on my nerves, though, because I empathize with a lot of what she's going through, but I just think she just expresses everything with such heavy cynicism. I don't like the way her character's lines are written. I wish there would be a little bit more. We're 4 seasons in, and Eloise is not evolved in thought enough to be able to express exactly what we just said
Gotcha.
to her siblings. It's just all cynicism and snippety snap and bite. And I
But I
just
think
wish,
it's because they're too much saying, "Oh my god, I'm in love, I'm in love." Nobody's really reaching back and saying, "Eloise, how are you doing?" They're all like, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm fixing tables. Me and Colin, we just can't keep our hands on each other and taking care of children. Oh, me and Anthony, we just had our baby, and me and this."
yeah. I guess
Nobody's
like,
asking.
but
They want her interest in what they're
yeah.
doing, but nobody's asking about hers.
Her about you're right, that's true. That's fair. Okay, alright. That's a point back in Eloise's bucket, is that
Mhm. And even when
everybody
she said, "Colin, I haven't seen you in a while." Oh, it took you long enough to notice. Like,
mhm, and even her little chats with Benedict on the swings, like,
yeah,
she said that he
Benedict, I meant. Yeah, it took you long enough
oh,
to
oh,
know.
you referring
Yeah,
to
yeah.
yeah, like
Like, yeah, I haven't
yeah,
seen you.
he kinda abandoned her on the swing,
Yes.
like so, yeah, I guess she feels alone.
Mhm,
God
that's her
bless her,
partner
poor
in
Eloise.
office in
Yeah,
being like, "We're not going to be getting married," kinda,
we're not
sorta.
settling for just
Mhm,
anything, yeah, and then he just kinda disappears, so, yeah, I suppose so, huh?
and Penelope was her right hand. She's off into the sunset with her brother nonetheless,
Mhm.
so can't really hear too much scandal because you don't wanna hear what your brother's doing. So, the
Goodness, no.
conversation's kinda limited.
Okay, you turned me on Eloise. I'm back on her. I think I'm really eager for her love story. I think it's next, probably.
Ooh, since they're going out of alphabetical order.
We were talking about Eloise how we've arrived at the fact that her loneliness, some of the spiciness in her loneliness that she's is because she just doesn't feel like her siblings really care, that she's not quite fitting into this
'Cause they see her I
world.
think they see her as, like, "This is Eloise." Everybody loves Eloise, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like
but
it's
they
sort of the
don't
same thing.
understand
Mhm. It's the same thing like
what
with
makes
Penelope.
her an odd bird. Yeah, yeah. Like what makes her struggle to date and connect with all these guys. So
Mhm.
interestingly, I was saying to Muriel before you cut back in that I feel like they left it last season that she was going to connect on some level with Michaela, John's cousin,
It was so
because they left it like in the season ending, like that was going to happen. And then we opened the season. Francesca's talking about how she doesn't get along that well with Michaela at the estate
Mhm.
in Scotland. And we do know that Eloise spent all that time up there, right? So
And Eloise
I
had no
wonder,
complaints about her, she just had complaints that it was not a lot of people,
not a
which was
lot of
strange.
people, which was strange because I felt like they were setting it up for her to actually enjoy some time with Michaela, either as a kindred spirit or as a partner. I don't know, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I was like, are we just gonna ignore that or what? But now Michaela shows up, at the end of
Is it what was it? Is it just me? But I feel like Francesca might have had something for Michaela.
uh,
I saw that too, and I couldn't figure out
And
which
that's
one it
probably
was
why
gonna
she
be.
can't connect with John.
Mhm. I feel like I felt
my
like that's
wait,
why
where's
it's
that
yeah,
emoji with
that's
the
what I
blown
felt,
head?
because I was like, it doesn't make any sense how she's like, "The girl's dreadful," and I'm like, "The girl didn't do anything." Like, it's just her
Mhm.
presence
And you know
is
what?
impeding on her ability to relate to, like to connect with her husband.
And you know what? Think about this, because Michaela's kind of like she comes in like this swashbuckler. She's got this
Mhm.
bravado. She's got this personality. She's
Mhm.
in phase. She's everything Francesca isn't, and she almost like challenges Francesca's belief bubble that she's created that she can have this full and wonderful life with John and just be totally into their quiet time
Mhm.
and not have this spitfire coming in here and, messing that all up. I thought it was just about like just her being a cousin and therefore having more access than maybe Francesca would want. But you
Mhm.
bring up a fascinating point now that I'll be watching like a hawk when the second set comes out to see if that's the way they're going. Because this whole time, that was a red herring for me, then possibly was the Eloise Michaela connection because they're both,
Mhm.
intellectuals.
I think that's what we thought because naturally when you have like that married newlywed couple that you
Mhm.
didn't want other people encroaching on your time, but they were just too happy to have everyone. So I feel like they
Yeah.
both need other people around to take up the empty space in
Mhm.
conversations and
And
things
make
like
it
that.
fun. Yeah. Make it fun around them.
Mhm.
Well, I hope she reaches her pinnacle. And also, I hope that they're able to conceive because they kind of threw that in there. But, they're not fretting about it, but not having a baby in that day and age
And
is
that
like,
age and they're young, it's perceived that they would be just having their baby like this.
yeah, I mean, look at Penelope and Colin.
Look at Daphne. Soon as
Look
he
at
stopped,
Anthony and, yes, and Anthony, has their baby and they were having their baby in India.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so everybody just in that world just fertile myrtle, right? And even the Featheringtons, remember?
The sister.
Yeah, Sir was pregnant. Yeah, so yeah, I think it is cause for concern in that sense, but he's right. They haven't been married a year, but I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with pinnacles. I think it's just, yeah, maybe we're going to be confronting a fertility issue and some kind of problem. It kind of made me raise my eyebrow, like, are they going to bust these two up? What is going to happen because of this baby or not being able to have a baby?
Well,
I have definitely like tried my best in reading about this stuff on the internet to avoid any spoiler sites, so I don't want to know what happens with them yet.
okay.
But something tells me that they're not set for a happily ever after. Either it's going to be their chemistry, a baby, or something.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And now maybe Michaela is going to come in and be the one who
And I
helps
don't
her reach her pinnacle.
I don't know if Michaela necessarily is gonna be the one to help her I don't know if Francesca is that bold.
No.
But I just don't think that I don't see that in Francesca. I don't
Yeah.
see her doing it, but we'll see.
Hmm. So that's all the I think the other people major
Mhm.
storylines that I wanted to cover. And then just rounding out what all happens with with Sophie and Benedict. You
Ooh,
know,
question, Ruth.
yeah.
Before you get there, what about the fact that people are saying that the Viscount's absence? Because I know we all know that Daphne's not coming back, but folks have been upset about the Viscount's absence.
But I think in the season preview for the rest of the season, he's coming back.
Oh, is he?
Anthony?
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Sorry.
in the little teaser for the upcoming set of episodes, I
Mhm.
saw him and his wife on the bed with a baby of like
Oh, I missed it. Okay, good. I'm
yeah, yeah,
excited.
you gotta go back and look at the teaser, girl. The
I
teaser
got
tells
to.
us the Viscount coming back.
Yay.
Yeah, he's no fool. Homeboy, the Duke, who was like he wanted to go and do more serious things. And I was like, how many serious things have you done since then, Duke?
Daphne was on online saying that she wants to come back. Like she waiting on a call
Daphne actually did come back, but how does she look like repeatedly
by
coming back
herself,
without him? It's
looking
not gonna work.
unhappy. There's no
Yeah, it's
passion.
gonna look like the marriage isn't working. Like they got her to, she came back season 2 with her baby
Mhm.
without him. I just honestly like this is to me what he did was no different than what Katherine Heigl did when she was on Grey's Anatomy.
Don't
Just
get me
you're
started
just
on that.
you got literally
You're not
known
bigger
like
than the program.
you got known because of the program, my dude. And then all of a sudden you have the nerve to part your lips and talk about how you're gonna do something more.
What did she
You're
make?
gonna you're
28
you know these
dresses, 27 dresses? I forgot.
girl, it's just a bunch of nonsense. Like you
Bring
now all of a
yourself back
sudden
into this nice scenery. Like
like
enjoy
he's like he doesn't
enjoy
want to be typecast as the love interest. He doesn't want to oh
Hey, you
whatever. I'm a
could do
serious
other projects
I'm
while you
so
do this one.
sorry. Your good looking
he's a
self is
serious
typecast.
thespian. What's the matter with
Cast.
you people?
I
He
don't
trained
Hey,
at
know.
recite
Oh no.
Shakespeare in between takes.
that's what these people want and it's so ridiculous cuz I'm like so okay, but how do you actually earn money as an actor? It's by having consistent work.
They like to
But
starve.
he's doing ad campaigns.
For
Yes.
whom?
And I'm not there's no shame in that how you get your check, but my dude, you were on the biggest show Netflix has. Like I don't know that there
And
is
the ratings would go through the roof if you came back.
oh my
Maybe
gosh.
let's hold out hope. Maybe he'll come back.
I
I
don't
think
know
he's
based on
stupid.
the fact that
You bet
Katherine
what he's
Heigl
gonna do
was
with George
never welcome.
Clooney at the end of ER and
Listen, but
Howard the
George
Kid.
Clooney didn't leave ER saying he's bigger than ER. He left ER
No,
because
but
he
I'm just
left
saying
ER.
that'll be him coming back at the end of the
Yeah, but
series.
y'all forget that Katherine Heigl never came back to Grey's Anatomy, okay? In Shondaland, you leave the show talking about you bigger than the show. You're not coming back, okay? Shonda's like, next page.
I
What
mean,
are we,
we'll be
20 something
right around you.
like 20 something seasons of Grey's Anatomy? We're 22 seasons later. I know, Katherine Heigl, I haven't seen her in anything. Bless her heart. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen anybody do. And I feel like Reggie should have learned from Catherine's mistakes. He didn't. And I haven't seen him in much since.
I think if he had just said, I don't mind playing, like you said, the ancillary parts, whatever, it would have been just fine.
But
You, the
yes, they're
Mundrokes,
not
you come off
showing them
together.
You
in
don't have
depth.
to say that out loud.
But they're
That's
not
true.
showing them in depth. They didn't show Daphne. Daphne's not taking over a whole part in the
No,
season.
And neither are Colin and Penelope. They're just
no,
there.
they're literally just
Your
showing up.
story is finished. They probably would have showed a little update, what have you, and then you can
Yeah.
go film
More
a Mission
children.
Impossible or
Or your
Bond
little whatever movie that you
Double
want
O
to do.
Seven.
Yeah, like
You two are so silly.
no,
Those
they
were
did not, and I
Marines.
don't think he's in the running for not seriously in the running for that.
Okay, because I would go see it though. I'm sorry. Not sorry.
Anyway, we digress. So, rounding back to Sophie and Benedict,
Hmm.
okay? So, after my cottage, things get complex. I thought it was very sweet of Benedict to get her that job at the house and to get her friend Hazel a job
That
as
I thought
well.
was
Of note, I did make a note during like I don't know every time it happened, but they were very ability inclusive too
Mhm.
this
hmm
season because I think they also had someone in a wheelchair.
yes.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
The
in the
wheelchair.
ton,
She was missing
a hand,
an arm. Oh,
a
a
hand.
hand. Yes. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, and so that was very interesting, and I loved when I first saw her on the episode, I got nervous because I was like, are they about to like make it about this and be really cruel to her? And they were cruel in the classist way, but it wasn't about her arm.
Mhm.
So I love that we just put her in the fabrica and she just blended right in, and you put her in a nice house with nice people and she does a great job. And
Mhm.
and it looks like that employee, the young man at Bridgerton
Mhm.
House, is developing a little crush on her. So I was
He
like,
seems like a
oh,
little bit of a gigolo. That's why I'm like looking at him with one eyebrow raised.
I
Like,
don't
is
know.
Yeah,
he?
he's enthralled by her though,
He
Mm,
because
seems
he seemed
fascinated by her.
interested. Yeah, he seemed
I
interested.
hope
Yeah,
that. I hope so because she's a
yeah,
sweetheart. She's a
Mhm.
yeah.
sweetheart.
I
And
like
I
her character.
think you know, it's funny that that when Sophie is now doing less work, probably
Mhm.
happier, and then
Mhm.
like you know,
Yeah. The
very
irony
well
there, right?
versed. Now she's
Yeah. The
oh no, you're just tending to the ladies. You don't have to tend to the whole house, and she's
yeah.
adept at all of it. She's good at
Mhm.
it all.
Yeah. She's a lady's maid, but yeah, she was the everything person. She was
Oh, you
literally
saw they had to
Yeah.
Cinderella.
hire what? 4,
4
5,
maids to replace her. 4
Mhm.
maids.
creating that maids
Stole
war.
4 maids. Are we gonna talk
Mhm.
about
They stole
the
4 maids.
you gonna talk about the maid, debacle?
War.
The maid
Yeah.
war?
The maid wars, Mrs. Featherington being an idiot. Like, girl,
About
these people are
taking
losing their maids left and right, and you gonna
You
give her
get
some
our
old
dresses.
dresses
That's it. She said on your days, would you go
but she
about
went
on
and
your days
celebrating?
replaced them.
off.
She said she went and replaced them after.
But that's the crazy part. You said we don't have money to give you any more money. So you clean out your closet. Okay, bet. She didn't like it, but you could tell she was going to swallow it as like, okay, well, I guess she
At
can't
least
pay
she
me.
gave me
And
something,
then to
yeah.
see everybody walking in with the boxes and you're like, oh, of course I
You
had
didn't
to
even
replace
So
you
you
everything
didn't
I
didn't
even
gave
get
get
you.
her
them in.
dresses that fit her in her own size. So
New
she got
dresses.
tailored in
Ma'am,
them
she sat
cockamamie
there
hot
and
colors.
demanded she went there and asked for tea after she exhausts herself, getting the clothes out of the back of her closet. I was like,
That
this
is
is
crazy to
ridiculous.
me. And the clothes are Featherington clothes, so they're horrific.
They are
I
horrible. The
mean, she was
green
like,
is mortifying.
and she said, when am I supposed to wear this? Like, you gave me some stuff I can't even wear, even if on my day off. Like, yeah, I mean, I think Varley was right to quit because at the end of the day, Varley was a ride or die for her.
Mhm.
And to just be
Hmm.
like, oh, we're family, but you're not paying me. I'm gonna raise in 20 years. Like, you're crazy. And
And
ultimately,
I do more than the rest of them.
And then you gonna tell her to go, and she know all your secrets.
I was
All.
like,
Girl.
literally, I was like, lady, are you crazy? She knows the truth about everything. She's the one who forged the letters. Remember
Girl.
she did the forgery to get them all that money, or to, you know what I
Mhm.
mean,
Back.
to get
Yeah,
them.
to get the money
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I thought it was crazy for her to let Varley go. But interestingly, Varley does not look happy in Lady Penwood's house. When Varley opened the door at the end, and she was like,
And Lady Penwood,
Didn't see that, didn't catch it.
it has no shame
when they came in.
in poaching
Mm.
people's people. Like she was
Mm-mm.
like the footman or the coachman that she poached, and she put
And then showed up to the party like, oh well, where are the hors
he's good at
d'oeuvres?
getting us here.
But when you saw that one woman, I forgot who it was, they were like talking about how she couldn't even get dressed in her hair and she was
Get her
walking
hair
through the
done.
town.
Oh my gosh,
I
hilarious.
fell out. I was like, that poor lady.
Look like
When
she had
did
And
she
on
these
start
two
people are
bonnets.
walking fast?
incapable without their
Yeah,
help.
2 bonnets on. 2 bonnets.
Looking nuts. Well, and that leads us to actually the future here because okay, the tension is getting hot and heavy
Mhm.
between Benedict and Sophie. She asks him to leave, go back to his bachelor pad because she can't stand having him in her face all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay. They have that meeting in the stairwell, and it goes from a little kiss to hot and heavy. And the whole time I'm thinking, I hope nobody walks in on them, number one.
Yeah, very scary.
Not me. I wanted them
And
all exposed because it was time. Go ahead.
that wouldn't have ended
Yeah,
well though.
yeah. Then what would be the next episodes?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
But the other part of it was when he was getting ready to ask her a question, did you guys think he was going to ask her to marry him?
Yes,
You did?
yes.
I did not, but I did not expect for him to make a formal invitation for her to be his
It's
mistress.
just
Yeah.
You know why I did expect it and saw it coming a mile away? It was because of that last conversation he had at the gentleman's club
When they
where they
said
were,
his brother had one.
no, that guy, his friend had a mistress.
mhm.
Mhm.
And he said, yeah, and he's very much in love with her. And then Colin was like, well, it's nothing I would ever endeavor to, but this is allowed in our society kind of thing. And all the men kind of gave a collective. And so I saw like, it's almost like they let us see the wheels
Wheels
turning.
turning.
It was
I
kind
thought his
of
wheels started
around.
turning more when he heard that his brother had one. Remember, he heard that the Viscount had one.
Oh, yeah, but he
That's
doesn't
what.
have one now. Colin made it clear he doesn't have one now. That was pre-Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I think it was just, I mean, yeah, that probably added to some sauce to it. But I think just the idea of, I think it occurred to him in that moment. He was like, oh, I could have my cake and eat it too. Like, I'm going to marry whoever I have to for society, but then I'll have this love. And for him, it's crazy to me because I was like, oh, you don't know her history, dog.
I
Like the reason.
It was like a full circle moment, so I could be my mom
Yes.
again. I was like, "Oh!"
And I
I
was like,
looked
oh,
up, I said,
no.
"Oh my gosh." As soon as he
Benedict, and
said
you
it,
only.
I threw my water cup at the on the
But are
screen.
we
I was like,
gonna find
"No!"
out? Are we gonna find out? So if she's her, so her father was of stature. Would that make that better? Would it make it better?
That she's no, she's still illegitimate.
So he can't marry her.
Or is she titled? I mean, what is this? Like,
I
hold
think
on.
that's what we may find out.
That the
I
father
I, I didn't want to jump too far ahead, but let's talk about ahead. What are we predicting, right?
Okay.
Because we kind of covered everything.
And they're gonna find
I
out who
think
he
I
is.
think she's
Really.
titled with money.
Yep.
I think that's what we're gonna find out. I think we're gonna find out not only did he leave her money, he actually recognized her
Mm-hmm.
and gave her a title, and she is the Lady Penwood, and she should have had that all along.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Now
can she
I don't know.
can't wait. I
I'm not,
need
like,
that.
sure about the legalities in terms of who has to approve what or whatever, but
I
if that happens, I feel like that's the twist that this story deserves.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
'Cause, you never want Bridgerton to be super predictable, but I think that would be
mhm.
a twist that would turn the whole situation into a possible happily ever after in this society that is
The
still
true
so
Cinderella.
rigidly
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, because otherwise, right, the only way for Benedict to get his happily ever after is for him to disregard society and marry Sophie anyway. And is that a
I
happily
don't
ever
see that
after?
happening. That's not
Violet
a
And
will
is
happy
it a
die.
it it doesn't help the Bridgerton family, you know what I
and it
Violet
mean?
will
rings
die.
hollow and it rings hollow as a happily ever after because like okay now they're married
They're not
they live
really
in my
happy.
cottage. Yeah, they're
Miserable
not
in
part of
there.
society. They're not able to go to the ton. They're not able to be with their siblings. It's a whole fallout. So that's why I'm like something's gonna have to happen with Sophie's lineage in order
Mhm.
for them to have a happily ever after, I think. So, okay. I'm glad we agree on that. And then yeah, we talked about Francesca, the look ahead, what I think. Eloise, I think they're just gonna keep her on the shelf until it's her season. And then with Lady Whistledown, hello. With Lady Whistledown and the Queen, they have that bet going about whether or
Well,
not
but what about how she summons her for,
Yo,
like, a
she's taking the
preview?
fun out of
It's
it.
the
The fun is just
I
for
know
her.
she did.
She
I
said
did.
the fun is just hers. Like,
I
Like,
please
"Wait a
know.
minute,
the
that's not how you
voice.
do it.
What
Start it
voice?
right."
Do it right.
I
Like,
literally said that. I was like, okay, she's making this fun for just her now.
Yes,
yeah.
but I loved it, though. It was hilarious because she was like, "No, no, no. Start it
She's like,
right.
no, do it right.
That's mhm.
Dearest gentle reader,
And now everybody's hiding from her, like in the shadows and stuff. Like, she's not.
I do love
She's
that.
not in the shadows anymore. So
No, she's out in the open, and then people are rushing to her with secrets on their enemies, which is
true.
Which
also
I
very
loved,
funny.
but I like how discerning she is as to
Yes.
what she puts out now,
Yeah.
Now,
you know?
But because it reflects on the family. Remember with the backlash, the other stuff.
Mhm,
Like she like
I don't.
went off on the Bridgerton.
She
mhm.
wasn't discerning when she was anonymous. She went on off on her own family when she was
Yes.
anonymous.
But I do
So
like it, though. I like how she is very careful. I like how she is mindful of the fact that how mighty the pen is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Remember
Is
when,
written
when
is
the
there
when he
forever.
was
it's
like,
growth. It's growth on her
yeah,
part.
and you remember when the
Yeah,
Benedict said, "Well, you could write about it in the thing." She was
She
like,
was
how
like,
she was on the outside with a
alone,
rake,
unaccompanied with a
with a
man with some
rake.
rake.
yeah, it's just like, I'm like, that's gonna
She's
destroy
like,
her
yeah,
reputation
no,
because
yeah.
because remember the pregnancy scandal.
Mhm,
Oh
mhm.
yeah, with what was her name? Maria? No,
Mm-mm.
Oh, the
Miss
one oh,
Miss Thompson.
Miss
Maria
Thompson, but it
Thompson?
was Maria
Either way.
Thompson. It wasn't Maria. Whichever way,
Mhm.
she's no longer here too.
Yeah, Miss
She co-stars
Thompson
stronger.
who Colin, yeah, she almost got Colin.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Poor Colin. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Marina, I think was her name. But yeah,
Marina.
Yes,
they have to be
Marina.
yeah, they have to be careful with that kind of thing. But I like where Penelope is. I like where Whistledown is. I think, it's hilarious her relationship with the queen. She's obviously still subject, but she's got like crazy access at this point, you know. So
Crazy
that's
unwanted access. That's the funny part. She's like,
Like, she wanna
comes in,
she's
party, you
like,
guys. She
Brimsley
wanna party
comes
with
to
her
get her,
man.
and she's like, oh.
Yeah,
"Oh
she's like,
my
"I wanna
gosh, like I'm
party
trying
with
to
my
be at the
man."
party." Yeah.
She's like, "You pulling me up, like, I'm here with my
Yeah.
man."
And he just comes and he's like,
Mhm.
I loved it. I loved I mean, honestly, I give it 2 thumbs up. I'm a big fan. But I'm not one of those people who is looking at it to find things wrong with it,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know? No program is gonna be perfect and without holes in every I feel like you always have those people who are always gonna look at something for holes or to say, "Oh, it's tired. It's not fresh anymore." But I
Are
think the
people saying
truth
this? What are their pages? Give me their names.
right, like, so I control them. No, but I think the true fandom that, has followed this along, we're all pleased with the way the season is going so far. I think the only thing we would all change if we could is that they
Have
would stop
all
releasing it.
episodes.
Yes, stop releasing it in bits.
And make them 12.
Yes.
Yes,
Or just
yes.
release 2 storylines. I don't care. Rev it
Or
up, girl.
do a weekly release of an episode if that's what you really
No,
wanna
don't do
stretch it
that to
out.
me. That would kill me. I'd rather have 4.
But, I mean,
Okay.
myself, I'd be happy just looking at the scenery. The scenery always gets me. It's
It
beautiful.
lifts my
Takes me
spirits.
Mhm.
somewhere. Like, it's so
Yes,
colorful and
yes.
and it doesn't take away from the music. The music, a lot of modern music played it with
I
strings.
love it. I
Uh,
love the modern
I
music.
don't know on
That I
and on.
love. That I
It's
love.
I still play that
the other
Pitbull in the
co-star,
background.
so to speak, is, the background
Yeah, the
and the
co-star
music
is the set and the
Mhm.
costume design.
and the music.
Yeah, the dresses, oh my gosh, like, I look at how well made and how well fitted everything is, and I just, like,
Mhm,
love it, and the
mhm.
And
hats,
how
the
appropriate.
accessories.
Even Penelope's outfit for the masquerade ball. It was like a pirate hat, but it was really,
Mhm.
really nice, and the way it was done, everything just always just looks so wonderfully done.
It's
And
just like a
yes.
visual feast,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like, I find myself in scenes when they're just walking to or going in and out of the ice cream shop. I'm
Yes, the
I'm
ice cream
paying
shop is
attention
so
to the story, but I feel like sometimes I
yes.
do need to go back and rewatch it
Mhm,
in this
mhm,
Mhm.
world
mhm.
because my eyeballs are doing this,
Everywhere.
looking at
Yep.
everything, yeah,
And
and
So,
maybe I'm
I'm
and
glad I'm
missing.
not the
just the
only one because 'cause
people.
I'll watch the whole 4 episodes, and then I'm like, "Okay, now that I've binged, let's rewatch."
Mhm,
Now
mhm.
that I know what happened, I gotta rewatch this
Even
for
the
the
people
details.
Mhm.
watching, just to go back and hear some of this, the stuff, some of the
Background
Cast members.
characters.
don't want to, I don't want to lessen their importance. You know what I'm saying? But like the other characters that actually speak that might have a couple of lines or what have you. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
so I get lost in the people watching because it's
Mhm.
such a diverse fabric of people, and with
Mhm.
the different clothes and the different styling that
Yes,
that's indicative and just for that particular family and all the
Mhm.
designs that I guess the seamstress does just for them because we all know what a Featherington gown is, child,
they
and
have their own style.
Feathers. Feathers.
and
And
green.
also, like, I think one of my favorite things is when they go for a
Mhm,
promenade,
mhm.
Mhm.
and the greenery, the gardens, everything is
Always
just so
lush.
lovely.
Lush.
Yes.
The
There was
outside of the
one
Bridgerton house, I know you guys love the flowers.
I love
girl,
it.
that wisteria,
So,
it kills
since you
me
brought up the
softly.
flowers, at the cottage, that shelf that they had behind in the kitchen with all those beautiful flowers, I had to pause it and look. I was like, "Look at all these beautiful herbs and plants and things
Yeah,
in the kitchen." It was so
yeah,
pretty. Everything was gorgeous. There's never a flower there that I don't love. Every time they
no.
do a ball, I'm, like, enthralled because there's always ample,
The ball
flowers,
was beautiful.
plants,
Ball was beautiful.
candles. It's just opulent.
It's visually I think that's part of the broad appeal is how
Mhm.
visually stunning it is,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it never fails to
Nope,
deliver on just breathtaking visuals, bright
nope,
colors without being hokey and
yep.
crazy,
Mhm.
like, I don't know, and they just never seem to run out of ideas for, like, great looks for these people, and I
Doesn't it?
can't tell what if they're recycling, what they're recycling,
Yes,
you
you
know?
can't. But even though folks were like, "Is that the dress Daphne wore at the cottage?" Like, they were comparing, like,
Oh,
what Sophie wore, the blue one.
The blue
They were like, "Is
dress.
that" Yeah, the people are saying that's the dress, and I don't know
Mhm.
if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true or
maybe.
not,
I think
They
because
so.
he
put a
did
lot
say
of
they're all
emphasis on
dresses.
the dress, so
Mhm,
maybe
Mhm,
so. Now I gotta go back and look
mhm.
mhm,
because they even when she put it back in the cabinet, that they treated it with a lot of attention, so
mhm,
maybe
And
so.
respect, like, almost like
Yeah.
this is Daphne's dress. But a lot of people are talking about the fact that how they've opened the world into the servants' world, which I love, like, sort of like the Downton Abbey aspect of it,
mhm,
and I
mhm.
love all
Age,
of that.
Downton Abbey, when we go downstairs
Oh,
to
I
what are
loved it.
the yes, I literally yelped when literally the camera looked like it was going downstairs, like, and I was like,
We haven't been. We haven't been.
"Yes,
I was like,
I
"Yes."
said that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we've never seen their downstairs."
It was so, like, the way that the bells were lined up, I was like, "Oh
Oh my
my god."
god, so
Yes.
And
efficient.
it was a
I was it
well-oiled
I was like,
machine,
it's a
well-oiled machine.
Yeah, it is. It literally is. And I was just like, wow, it dawned on me. And I was like, we have never seen this, have we? I
Mhm.
mean, maybe there's been a glimpse from wedding prep or something like that before season one or something, but like to where we
Or
see
some
them
food
sitting.
prep, some food prep, yeah, but not like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we haven't seen them living. We never saw the servants sitting around playing games, talking to each
Mhm.
other,
helping
relating
the
to one
mom.
another. Yeah, or falling in love with each other. We're getting to know more about those people, Mrs.
Mhm,
Wilson and all them. Like,
And even
I
their
like that.
downtime, like their downtime, we never saw that. So it was really good. Even that time when Violet and Marcus were getting together, and she was like, "I'm giving you all the day off," and I'm watching them. They're like, "We're gonna go to the pub." I was like, "Oh, they
mhm,
do get a day off," because it
Yeah.
sometimes looks like they don't, like the
It
way
mhm,
looks
that
like they never
everything's
have off,
running.
honey. Because if they wake
Mhm.
up in the middle of the night and ring that little ding-a-ling bell, they gotta bring them some milk and biscuits.
mhm,
Warm
Okay?
milk, please, warm milk and
mhm,
biscuits.
Okay?
mhm,
That's for them to wake up and get to work. So, yeah, no, they live a pretty, what's the word, insular life, and what you tend to see in shows like Downton and Gilded Age is that the people in the servant class fall in love with each other in the same house.
Mhm.
They
mhm,
find
mhm.
partners in one house together because where else are you gonna meet someone to fall
Exactly.
in love with them
Yeah,
and spend
because
enough
what
time
you don't
around
have
them?
time. Yeah, time. That's the thing.
Yeah,
So, are
yeah.
you looking forward? Is anyone looking forward to the younger kids growing up? Because as we're seeing now, they brought back the youngest son. He no longer
Yeah,
wants like the
George.
candy, the
Sure.
biscuits and stuff. He's like, I
Mhm.
don't eat that.
He
He's like,
wants
and
to
I
share the
He
shave.
looks so much older, by the way.
I
Like, he's
think
so
I just that beard made me laugh. Or mustache. I just started
it wasn't
laughing.
even it was just his bone structure is starting to come
Okay.
in. That baby face is
Mhm.
changing all
No
the
way.
cheeks and stuff. Mhm.
It's funny to me
Yeah.
because I think they're all going to surpass Eloise. That's my fear.
I don't think so. I think Eloise is gonna be next. I don't know. Is
Okay.
there a predicted order of how they're gonna do it, of how Shondaland's gonna do it?
Mm,
I I
Is I thought it was gonna be alphabetical after Daphne,
I
but
thought it was going to be
mm-mm.
alphabetical, but apparently,
No, their
you
birth
jumping
ages
around.
are their birth ages are alphabetical or whatever, but as far as the order of their
mhm,
age, but no, I think because what you noticed with season 3,
Mhm,
okay, we got Colin and Penelope getting married and
mhm,
Francesca and John getting married, but there was a very decided focus on Benedict and his journey in season 3. And
mhm,
now in season 4, we have obviously Benedict and Sophie is the big love story,
mhm, mhm.
but there is a decided focus on Eloise's journey. And so
mhm.
that's what makes me think,
Ah, yeah, she's
okay,
probably next. Yeah.
yeah, she's
Do
probably
you think
next.
it's
Yeah.
next season or something's going to develop within the
They'll
next
probably start to develop, but definitely next season, and I think during next season, the sub-story will probably be Hyacinth,
Princess?
yes.
I think the way Hyacinth's acting right now, she'll die if she don't come out in the next season. I mean, it's over.
No, but I also think they're so like good about working with the same actors, obviously.
Mhm,
I think they need to let Hyacinth get a little older looking
Mm,
before
mhm,
mhm.
before
I can
they
see
have
that.
her come out. Yeah, she's to
Well,
me, it's
I think
like
that's all in clothing because even with the dropped hem, it's looking a
hemline.
little better. It's looking a little
It
better.
is, but she's still giving little girl.
Mm,
I mean, maybe they'll be, but and notice whenever the marrying Bridgerton always comes back, especially the guys with a glow up. Like Anthony
mhm,
came back with a glow up. Benedict came back.
mhm.
He's been in.
Colin,
Colin came back. I was like, "Is this the same dude?"
mhm.
he came back a bunch
But,
of rakes. They look good.
okay. looking good, okay, in his traveling clothes. So yeah, I think I would like to see Hyacinth next season only because I know she's gonna look so much older, and I think
Mhm.
I will be more comfortable talking about marriage for someone at this age. For her and George, they're too young.
I think it's
Yeah,
all in
we'll see.
hair and haircut and everything. Well, she's gonna have a glow. She's gonna have a good glow up.
And
I
if they
think you're
keep the
gonna be
Yeah,
person
surprised.
also older than her, but also young looking, so it doesn't,
Mhm.
look
so stark.
gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Hmm.
gross.
All right, ladies. Well, I think we covered it. We did our look ahead, and I think you said the next set comes out February 20 something, February 29th.
Oh
Or
my
wait, no,
god,
26,
not
I
February
thought.
29th. Girl, there's only
I don't
26.
28
know.
days in February. Is this a leap year? No,
Did I say 29th? Jeez, my
I
bad.
said February 29th, like a dunce.
It's got to be
Oh.
like 26, but this is a long time away. It's 24th of February.
That's
Just
24
they should have
days.
put it
So you know
down.
that I did. I started watching from season one again because I need to, remember some things.
I have to rewatch the entirety of this release, and then I'll
Hmm.
go back. And they almost caught me when I was traveling over the weekend with Queen Charlotte.
I
Yes.
love that. I
You know how
can't
they
wait.
catch you with the little with the
I can't
preview, and
wait
I was like,
for
"Oh,
Lady Dan.
I almost let it keep playing."
And yeah,
But I
they
do
need a
too.
Lady
Lady Danbury is coming,
Danbury,
and it
and
has to
they need
come.
a Violet story. I'd like to know a little more about.
I would love to know Violet's story, but I don't know if
But
they're
don't
gonna
we
want
know
to touch
Violet's
on it
story?
We
Hasn't it
do
been
kind
kind
of.
of?
through the family. No,
Yeah,
not really, because we know it, but we don't know it. Because then, if you think of it that way, then we know Lady Danbury's story because we saw a part of it with with the Queen.
yeah,
And maybe
So
looking into the marriage and stuff.
yeah.
I
Or I think maybe just her life in Sierra Leone would be for me what I'd be
Hmm.
interested in.
I don't need to see Lady Danbury's marriage anymore.
No, I'm talking
Just
about Violet. It's Violet. Violet's marriage, not Lady.
I've seen enough. I don't want to see no more of that man. So happy when he died. So happy this moment. I was like, thank God. No more warm baths. No, no one interrupting her on her needle point. I was so happy for her. I was like, thank God.
No, Violet's marriage.
Oh my God, Violet's marriage, you dum dum. Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want to see
Violet's
no more of
marriage.
that. I was like, all I want
Gosh,
to see
definitely
is her
not.
life is Sierra Leone and sailing off to the new world. That's it. They don't need to show me
And
no more
then
of her
cut it
life.
off. Yeah,
So,
have you guys ever
so
looked up that actor in real life?
I did.
The guy who like he's
He
Yeah.
like a
is
handsome guy. It's
handsome.
crazy.
I had to because I couldn't keep because you know how we get with like the color purple, like, oh, I missed
Yes,
her. So
yes,
I had to
yes.
disassociate him because I
I
was
said
like, what
before
you
this
look
guy
like?
becomes Mister in my head, let me make sure I look him up so I don't hate him forever.
I did hate him. I was like, when he died, I was like, praise the Lord. I was sitting there like,
Yeah.
thank God he's gone.
So
We need
I
not
think
draw
that's what
warm
we've
baths.
got. What'd you say?
We need not draw warm baths anymore.
No, we don't need to go back and look at that wedding, that marriage at all. We saw what we needed to see from that marriage, and ultimately, but I do think Lady Danbury focused trip back to Africa, and I just think with this team filming
Oh,
something
it's gonna be
in
gorgeous.
Royal Sierra Leone, like
Oh, it's gonna be gorgeous.
visually, I think it's
Shonda,
gonna. It would.
Village thing.
I feel like they would body that. It would look
Oh
just.
my
It
god,
would just
the colors would be gorgeous. The scenery would be fantastic.
the
You know,
jewelry,
the
the
jewelry,
jewelry,
the skin tones, and the
the
lighting,
lighting.
the hairstyles, the different like textures.
Yes.
My
Because it
God.
makes you wonder, where did Queen Charlotte get all these fly styles from, huh?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, anyway, y'all. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up right here. It was lovely discussing this package of episodes with you guys. We will definitely get back together to discuss when the next batch comes out. That will be at the end of February, February 26th, I believe. So do be on the lookout for that. Please drop a comment, drop a like, share the podcast with anyone who you think might enjoy this lovely and friendly group chat. Thank you, Dr. Muriel. Thank you, Lynn, for joining us today. You guys want to say your bye-byes to the people?
Yes. Bye, people, and thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.